Hey, welcome back to the UFC Overload blog. I got a 2-for-1 special for y'all tonight because I hadn't been watching the Ultimate Fighter, unfortunately, until tonight. Was able to catch up on the whole season, though. And I gotta tell you, man, it's looking pretty awesome so far. It's only 3 episodes in, but I mean, it's pretty sick. It's all lightweight fighters, so that's good. So they're not gonna have two champs; they're just gonna have one. So they got all the best prospects from that one division. Every fighter to get into the house even had to fight to get in the house. It was just a one-round fight. So I mean, there was a lot of finishes just because people were going balls to the walls. Because I mean, it was only 5 minutes, so you couldn't fully assess the skills and everything like that in the that one round. But I mean, it's still a good parameter to see. When they can like flip that switch. It's fight time, and then they go. So they did that. They had 32 fights the first episode, and so they picked their teams and everything. And wasn't a whole lot happening. The first episode, everybody's kind of feeling out process. You can't really tell who's like the douchebags or the cool guys. So far, it's not looking like there's any douchebags really, which is good because there's always like that one or two guys that are just ruining it. You just can't really stand them. Like every time he's on camera. But the coaches are Dominic Cruz, the bantamweight champ, and his rival Uriah Faber, and they've been pretty good so far. I mean, they get a little. It gets a little testy, but I mean nothing too serious about them. And they're having some little prank wars right now going on, messing with each other's pictures all over the place. Kind of what girls do, but I mean they're not gonna do nothing serious. They're gonna throw hands at the end of the season. So I mean they'll just waiting on that. But it's been pretty good. Dominic Cruz has actually been a lot better coach than I thought he was gonna be. Pretty much just trying. I don't know. Just first of all, when he talks, he just doesn't even sound like a fighter. He's got like such a quiet demeanor, but he brings it in his fight every time, and so he's real calm when he's coaching his players or his fighters. He doesn't ever get like he hadn't ever gotten like real angry with him. Like he talks to him, like a normal person, not trying to talk down to him or anything. Like just being honestly and genuine, trying to help him and things like that. And then Uriah Faber's a good coach as well. I mean, he's been coaching for a while, anyways, at Team Alpha Male. So I mean, this wasn't anything really new for him, and so he's putting on a good show so far. But one of the things that was just awesome about the first episodes was so they do the live fights, which is awesome. So every fight you see is live. It's not taped. It didn't happen 6 months ago. It happened as you saw it. And so they do the fights, and then whoever wins, the coach of the winning player, teammate, fighter, my bad, he gets to set up the next fight, and they set it up right then at the very end of the episode. And so Uriah Faber got to pick the first matchup, and he set it up to where Cruz's team was definitely the underdog. Nobody really expected him to win. Cruz's boy comes out and just knocks him out with this vicious knee while he's going for a double leg takedown. So he knocks him out, wins the fight, and Cruz, man, he does something very unusual for Ultimate Fighter. Like they normally try to protect their prize hog, like the number one pick. They normally wait about 3-4 fights before they throw him in there, just kind of protect him. But Cruz, man, he picked his boy, his number one pick, and then he looked at Uriah Faber, and instead of Cruz picking the fight, like so setting up an advantage for his players or anything like that, he just he looked at Faber and was like, pick your boy, whoever, we don't care. And so Uriah was like caught off guard. He was like, he didn't really know who to pick, because it was like real on the spot. So he just looked at his guys and he's like, all right, who wants to bang? Crickets, man. Nobody said nothing. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Like, you came to the Ultimate Fighter, you're going to have to fight 3 times. And, like, everybody, I don't know, I mean, I'm not going to say they were scared, but, I mean, they weren't stepping up. None of them were stepping up. So that was a pretty awkward moment. Like, even Dana White was saying, he was like, man, that was awkward. All these boys are just, like, looking down, twiddling their thumbs. Like, don't look at me, coach. Don't pick me. So they end up tossing it back to Cruz, and Cruz ended up picking a guy for the fight. And Cruz's number one pick ended up winning. I mean, pretty much expected. The other guy was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt for like 10, 15 years, and he trains Mauricio Shogun Rua and Wanderlei Silva. So I mean, he wasn't any slouch, but he ended up losing to Justin Lawrence, the number one pick. And so that's where they're at on the season so far. Just two fights in to the actual house after like they did the preliminary fights, the one rounders and one rounders. And so right now Team Cruz is up 2-0, and I mean they're definitely like kind of in the heads right now, just with that move they did of having him pick his own player or pick his own fighter. And I mean, he couldn't pick his own fighter, and then he asked his people to step up, and I mean, they couldn't even step up, like make a decision. So I think they're obviously that's going to be in the back of their heads. Like Cruz just has a lot of confidence in all his fighters, and I mean, you got to have that obviously. But so that's pretty much a recap of what's happening. Most of it's definitely more focused on the fights than it used to be, which is good because a lot of the stuff they just kind of filled in to waste time earlier, like which is a bunch of crap and nonsense. It's not like that this season so far, at least. So that's cool. But so it's been a real good season so far. 2 episodes in, they come on every Friday. So definitely keep checking them out, and I'm gonna keep you updated on just what's going on with them with the blog and some tweets. Y'all have a good one.